I believe in one-page business plans. I do not, at some point, if you're going for investments, you may need 30 pages and all kinds of financials, and when you do, there are plenty of people who can help you with that. But for right now, you need a one page that gets you focused, and also you can share it with somebody to say, this is what I'm thinking of doing, what do you think? Because there's a business in you, there's a business in your head and in your heart, if that's what you want to do. But the very nature of business is a collective activity. You can't do it in isolation, so you have to start. So what goes into your plan? First is your vision. What is it that you want to create? What is it that you're creating? Is it a service? Is it a product? What is it? How do you describe it? I have listened to thousands and thousands and thousands of women talk about their businesses, and a third of them, I do not understand what they do after they describe it to me. So hence the importance of writing it down, so that you can really look at it, walk away from it, because this one-page plan doesn't have to be done in one day. You can do it in one day, you can sort of draft it, but the beauty of the one page is, as you think differently, learn new things, you can crumble it up and start over, because it's not 30 pages, it's one page. But so what's your vision? What type of business? What do you want to sell? Who do you want to sell it to? And how much money do you want to make? Ladies, the sooner we put money on a piece of paper and what we want to do about it, as opposed to always worrying about how much money we owe and how much money we don't have, how much money do you want to make? And remember, this is also in confronting reality. So it's a balance, but you've got to declare to yourself and to people as they're reading the plan what your financial aspirations are also. What can you do with the business? The next thing, and I think this is something that we're all very good at, is what's your mission? What do you want to do in the world? What problem are you solving? And how are you solving that problem in a new way? In a better way? It has to be some way that what you're doing stands out from others. It cannot just be, you know, I want to, if you make something, one of the fastest ways for women to get into big businesses is through food. There are enormous opportunities through food because we spend a lot of time with food. We often do it better than a lot of people. And how do we sell that to more than somebody at a bake sale, but to, you know, all the grocery store chains in your area? How do you do those things? Or how do you sell it at Sam's Club or Walmart or, you know, wherever that is? But it's got to be different. It's got to be different. It's got to be better. It's got to be new. It cannot be the same as everything else you see. That is one of the most important things. How is it going to be different from what's on the shelf currently? Or how is it going to be different from the service that you've already had? If you're going to do it better, then help us understand how it's going to be better than what's out there. But I will say, from years of helping women get on the shelf at places or to sell their services to the government, different, new, better. As you're writing this plan, you got to keep thinking about what's different, new, or better about what you're doing. And then objectives. You have got to figure out how you're going to measure what's going on. I know people who have businesses that look at their financials when they do their taxes. And if you're running a business and you want to make money, you got to look at your financials like, I would say, like once a week, once a month. If you're in a cash business, every day. How many people are in a cash business? No cash businesses? Okay. You got a cash business? Do you check your cash every day? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Nellie Galan checks her cash every day. Seriously. This fear or this whatever it is about money, we have got to get steeped in money in terms of understanding what it can do for us, not because it's a wonderful thing to have in and of itself. Women need to think about what money can do for them and what money can do for their families. It makes us more comfortable with it. And there really is something I've been looking at for a long time about money and women. Because I know Nellie talks about fears in your community, but it is a universal issue, and I think the reason is that money and power for a long time was used against us, right? So we're not so into it. And I think the challenge for all of us is to make money and power our way so that we are comfortable with it. To think about what we could do if we had more money, like Rosie talking about how much money she wished she'd had to give to her sons when they were running for office. Because we can do that. I know too many women who've come through Count Me In's different programs who went from $100,000 in revenue who are now at $30 million. And they can take all kinds of vacations and support political candidates and do whatever they want to do, and the products that they make are changing the world. So new, better, different, and you got to decide to measure what you're doing. How are you selling? You know, are people buying this? What are you doing on social media? What's your website traffic? Whatever it is, on a regular basis, you got to look at it. So if something's not working, you know to stop doing that and do something else. So that's the third one. So it's vision, mission, objectives, and then strategy. How are you going to do it? I'm going to use my food analogy. Are you going to bake this stuff at home? Are you going to get into a commercial kitchen? Are you going to do it with some other people? How are you going to do it? And you got to have an action plan. You literally have to decide what you're going to do first, when things are going to get completed. Because without it, it really, again, I say for women in particular, there's so much else that intrudes on our lives. Who needs to go to the dentist? Who had to go to the emergency room? All those things. And if you don't have your action plan, you know, when you come back from the emergency room, how do you get back to it? Because of all the emotional upset and all that stuff, you've got to have a path for yourself and a plan that you can stick to, and as your business grows, you can share with the people that you work with. So that's a 5-point, really fast business plan.